Students, today we are going to discuss syllabus of class 8th computers. So in last video class we discussed chapter 3 list tag and attributes of the list tag, and in today's class we will discuss table tag. Okay, so just start. What is table? Table is a grid of rows and columns, or we can say table is the collection of row and column. So this is an example of table, a 3 by 3, 3 rows and 3 columns. In our MS Word software, in document processing softwares, it is very easy to design the table. But how to design the table in HTML? For that, table tag is used, and we can arrange the data on the HTML page or on the website with the help of this table tag in a proper structure. So just see how we can do and how we can create the table. To create the table in HTML tag, we use table tag. Okay, table tag is a container tag, and this table tag helps us to arrange the data in a form of row and column, in a tabular form, means in a properly arranged manner. Let's see how we can do. The first tag which we are going to discuss with the table tag is the table caption tag. How to design the table caption and what is the use of this table caption. Table caption is the heading of that table. We can say the caption tag is here to give the name to that table, give heading to that particular table. What will be the heading of this table, what will be the caption of this table. Just see how we can design this. Proper structure, the standard structure of the HTML document, starting from the HTML and then head, then title closed, then head closed, then body. Again, now some center tag is used. This is not the point to discuss here. Main thing which we are going to discuss here is the table tag. You see, I have used table tag with border 1, width 50%, height 50%. Lots of attributes are used here. So do not bother about the attributes here, because we will discuss all the attributes later on the further slides. So just see how this table is created. The caption tag. First of all, the caption tag which we are going to discuss here. So inside the table tag, we are to write the caption tag so that we can give the table heading, table name there. So this here the code is written. Here code we have written the code caption. This is a blank table. Just see the table, and this is written here table tag and its attributes. This was written using the font tag. And this is the blank table. This is the caption of table. It is very easy to see. Okay. Now, table row. Table row. What is table row? I think you have seen in the last slide that we have used tr, td, again tr closed, td closed inside. By seeing this picture, an idea coming into your mind that TD, what is the use of this TD, what is the use of this TR. I think you are able to correlate with the figure which you are seeing here and the codes which are given here. But if you are not able to correlate, need not to worry, we will discuss all the things. Okay, the table row, each row in a table is defined with the tr tag. TR tag is there to define the define the table row. This is also a container tag. It must end with the TR tag because this is the container tag. So we have to close this tag after opening. Then we will discuss table heading. Some tags we will discuss, and then we will see the practical examples. Table heading. Table heading is a table or column heading. It is defined using TS tag. TH is also a container tag. So it must be closed with TS tag. Now table data inside the column. that is known as the table data, and it is also a container tag. It is designed using TD tag, okay, and it must end with the TD closing tag. Just see an example of a table. Here the name, class, roll number, these all are written in the bold font, and after that the data there, Mr. A, Mr. B, Mr. C, class 8, roll number 10, 12 and 14, is written in normal font. How it is done? Yes, you are thinking in a very positive way, in a very, all the TD tag, all the headings are written using TD tag, table row, table data, all the tags which we have discussed are used here. So we can see the code of this web page also. See the code. See, the table tag is there, table tag, after that TR tag, this is for table row. In first row we have written name, class and roll number, but it is used, it is written using TH tag. TH is the table heading tag or the column heading tag. So the name is the heading of the column 1, class is the heading of column 2, roll number is the heading of column 3. Just see the figure here. Name is the heading of the column 1, class is of column 2 and roll number is of column 3. And then first row is closed, TR is closed, the first row completed. Then second row started, TR, and in this row we have the record of Mr. A, Mr. A, class 8th and roll number 10. Just see, Mr. A, class 8, roll number 10. Okay, in same way we have column 2. In column 2 we have the records of Mr. B, that is also started with TR, and Mr. B, class 8th and 12th. This is the table data, this is the data of the particular that column of the cell of the table. So this is known as the table data. That's why Mr. A, Mr. B, class 8th, roll number 10, 12, whatever the roll number is we have entered, they must be written inside the TD tag, because these are the data inside the cells. So to design the cell, to give the content into the cell, we use TD tag. See once again this figure and correlate the codes. And then in the last, all the third row is closed, and then table tag is closed, then body tag is closed, and HTML tag is closed. And this, in this way we can create the table. But one thing we have to pay attention here, that here we did not use any attributes of the table. That's why all the data is written without any boundaries. Means the border is not there, any particular specific design is not there. So for this we have lots of attributes of the table tag which we will use. See, border attribute, the first attribute which we will use to give a boundary to the table, so that we can correlate that this data belongs to which column, which data belongs to which column. Although it is clearly possible to reconnect that Mr. A, Mr. B, Mr. C belongs to the name column, and 8 belongs to the class table, and roll number 10, 12, 14 belong to the roll number column, but still we have this facility to give the boundaries, to give a proper way of representation in the table, so that we will use and we will come to know how this tag is used. Let's see. The same data is arranged in a border table, and definitely it have a different way of presentation, a different look than the without border tables. So it is our requirement, it is not necessary, so we have to use border every time, and we are not allowed to use border. It is just our requirement. If we do not require border, we are not forced to give the border tag. We are not forced to use border attribute. So how to use this border attribute? Let's see the code. So directly come to the table tag and after table tag we have the attribute border equals to 1. 1 means 1 pixel. This is not only 1 pixel, this is sometimes 1 or 0. 1 means yes, 0 means not visible. 1 means border visible, and 0 means border is not visible. So table border equals to 1. Then again the same table row, then table heading, then table row complete, then table row, table data, table row complete, then again the next table row and the table row complete, including table data, and the next row. So now Bgcolor attribute. Bgcolor means background color of the table. We can change the background color because by default color is white and black. So if we wish to color the table, we have this attribute Bgcolor. So we can use the Bgcolor to change the background color. Now, how to color? Again, we have a table with background color but without border. Let's see the code of this. Directly coming to the table tag, line number 10, table Bgcolor equals to yellow. Whatever the color name you will write, that will appear here, and it is clearly visible that the table having background color yellow. All the data written there is in black color. We can change the font also, but we will discuss it later. All the rest tag is same. Now the same table with border. What is the difference? We can use Bgcolor and border. And what is the purpose of this example here? Purpose of this example is we may use more than one attributes together. Hence it is not restricted by the HTML or by the browsers. We cannot use more than one attributes at a time. We can use multiple attributes if we require. Now, what is cell padding attribute and how to use this cell padding attribute? Cell padding means the distance of text inside the cell from the cell border, from the cell wall to the distance of the text from the cell wall. Let's see here, name have some distance from the border, from the cell border, cell wall. Same thing, class also having some distance, roll number also having some distance. All the data are having a fixed distance from the cell wall, from the cell border. See here we have not used cell padding. So here the name, class and roll number are closely connected with the cell wall or cell border. All the data are also, but here they have a fixed space from the cell wall. And how it is possible? This is the cell padding, means the length of the text inside the cell from the cell wall. The text we have written here, space between cell wall and cell content, means whatever the content we have written inside the cell, if we wish to give some space from the cell wall, then cell padding is used. Now see how it is used. Directly coming to the line 10, table tag, table cell padding equals to 5 and border equals to 1. If we will not use border here, we will not be able to correlate, we will not be able to find that exactly this cell padding attribute is working or not. So we should have a reference point. That's why border tag is border attribute is used here, so that we can clearly identify that cell padding attribute is working. Let's see the example again. So it's clear. Now welcome to the next point. Cell spacing attribute. Now cell spacing means space between two cells, two different cells, the space between two different cells. See here in the examples. In our earlier examples, all the cells were connected closely, but here every cell have a specific distance. Let's see the last example also. Here the border is there, but they do not have a space. But here border is there, but they have extra space also. And this is the cell spacing, space between the cells. See the code directly from the line 10. Table cell spacing equals to 5 and border equals to 1. Again, border is important here so that we can identify the space between the cells. And rest tags are same, so need not to worry about this. Now we will use cell padding and cell spacing all together. How to use these tags and what will be the impact. As earlier I told you all that we can use multiple attributes together. It depends upon the requirements. So here we wish to use cell padding and cell spacing all together, so we can use. And give the example, what will happen? The text will also have some space from the cell border, and all the cells will also have some space in between them. See the code directly from the line number 10. Table cell spacing 5 and cell padding equals to 5, border equals to 1. So it is very clear. Line number 10 means this. Okay, and rest code is same, so need not to worry about that. Whatever we are changing just the attributes. All the table data is same, all the table style is same. Now height width attribute, we have the option to define the height and width of the table also. Sometime we are required to provide the space or provide the height and width of the table, so this attribute is there to help us. See how we can do. It specifies the height and width of a table. See the example. The earlier tables were very compressed, a very small table, but the same table as here, it is consuming extra space than all the other tables. See the example. This is the table, and this is consuming extra space because of cell spacing. But this is not using extra space. This is not using extra space. The same table with same data consuming this much of space because of the height and width tag. We have used here all together so that we can get the working of these attributes. Let's see directly from the line number 10. Table, then border equals to 1, width equals to 50%, height equals to 50%. It is not required to use height and width all together, but we have the option to use height or width as per our requirements. Means it is not compulsory to use height and width all together. If we are requiring only height tag, we are free to use height tag only, height attribute only, and if we require, we may use width tag alone also. But here, to show the impact of height and width all together, I used these two attributes at a time, on the same time, in the same line. Rest tags is same, rest tags are same. Let's see the example. Here cell padding and cell spacing is not defined, that's why we are not able to see the impact of cell spacing and cell padding. Here we have used border tag and then height and width tag. Okay. Now use of all attributes all together. Whatever the attributes we have discussed till now, we have discussed border tag, then we discussed Bgcolor, then we discussed cell padding, then we discussed cell spacing, then we discussed height and width, height, width. Now we will use all these 6 to 7 attributes all together and we will see the impact. See, this is every attribute will create the impact of their properties. See the code here, line number 10. table Bgcolor allo, border equals to 1, width 50%, height 50%, cell padding 10, cell spacing 5, and that's it. Rest is same. And this is the tag, and this is the example. So this is also very easy, as we discussed the list tag and the attributes of the list tag. In the same way we can discuss the table tag and in the same way we discussed table tag and its attributes. Now I think it is very clear to you all, and you all can create table, you all can create list, means you all can create a web page with the help of all the tags which we have discussed. Okay, thanks. In case you face any problem, let me know. We will discuss all together, and next we will see in the next video class.